Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this feels weird being back after I don't know how many years, but I do have a pattern for you guys today. Hopefully I can remember how to do a tutorial okay enough. Today I got this bracelet that I just designed recently actually. It's not an old one that I'm digging up, and I'm gonna call it the woolly bear bracelet because it reminds me a lot of those like little woolly caterpillars that you sometimes see on the side of the road. And yeah, so this is one of them. I also made another one in these colors, but personally I prefer the ones with like jelly bands for the little caterpillar part. So first I'm going to break down the kinds of bands you'll need for this, how many of each one. So I wrote it all down in a nice little list. So first you're going to need 12 bands for like the inside of your caterpillars. In this tutorial I'm going to be using black. So yeah, the inside bands are these little bands that go inside of each caterpillar. I used 12 of them. Ooh, there's a hair in it. But you might need more or less depending on your wrist size. My wrist is pretty tiny, just for context. So next, you need 8 bands per caterpillar. And so again, each caterpillar is here like one of these blue things. There's 8 bands per caterpillar. And the way that I colored this one, and I'm going to be coloring the one in the tutorial today, is I did like one stripe of caterpillars all in one color and then another stripe of caterpillars in a different color. So I'll be doing that same pattern in the tutorial just so it's not confusing. But really, if you wanted to, you could, have fun with it. You could make each caterpillar a different color. You could do a bunch of different things. You could make, each caterpillar like a gradient, like make each one like rainbow or something. Up to you. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to keep mine in that same 2-stripe pattern. And so if I do that, here I'm using 48 pink, so 48 pink for one stripe of caterpillars, and then 48 orange for the other stripe of caterpillars. Then you also need bands in between your caterpillars. So in this bracelet, that's these little white cap bands here. You're going to need 44 of those if you make your bracelet the same size as my bracelet. In this case, I'm using clear bands for that. Next, I'm using 102 zebra bands. I think that's what they're called. It's like the black and white 2-colored bands. You'll see them in a minute. And I'm using those for my side fishtails. So that's 51 per fishtail for a total of 102 bands for your fishtails. And then last is your C-clips. You will need a couple to work with just to hold stuff together while you're making the bracelet. So you need 14 for that, but you will need 2 to actually finish the bracelet. So that covers the materials. Also for hook, I'll be using my, I think it's called a Loom. Sorry I'm so rusty, guys, but yeah, this is the Loom. My camera will focus. Or not, whatever. This is the Loom. It's Rainbow Loom's official double-ended hook. But if you only have the normal Rainbow Loom hook, that's fine as well, or a crochet hook. You really won't need a ton of hook space. Focus. There we go. You won't need a ton of hook space, so you can use the original Rainbow Loom hook or a crochet hook or whatever. Alright, I think that covers it. And so before we get started, I'm going to explain how this bracelet's going to come together. So the way this is going to work is you're going to start by making one chain of caterpillars. So you're just going to make that kind of like how you would make a normal bracelet. Start off with that. After you do that part, you're going to connect your other set of caterpillars. So you're going to kind of weave that and connect it at the same time. And throughout this process, you'll be attaching C-clips to hold things together along the way. And then finally, you're going to add the fishtails at the end. So that's the general process of how it's going to go. And so, like I said, I'm going to start us off by doing one of the little strips of caterpillars. So I'm going to start with pink today. So let me open up my little pillbox of bands, because I like to count my bands before I get started. And so we're going to start off with your band that goes in the very middle of your caterpillar. So the one that goes right in between there. You're going to take this band, just plop it on your hook as is, and then you're going to take your color for your first caterpillar. So like I said, I'm starting off my first strip. It's just all going to be pink caterpillars. So you're gonna need, again, 8 bands for that. So let me count those out so I don't add the wrong amount. And then you will also need to pull out your bands for your little connecting strip in between your caterpillars. So in this case, like I said, I'm using clear. And for this first strip, you'll add the same amount of bands, connecty bands per caterpillar, as you do that like make up the actual caterpillar itself. So like as you can see here with this bracelet, I'm doing the pink strip, so I'm basically doing this right strip here. You're gonna need just as many of these little cat bands in the middle as you will per caterpillar, if that makes sense. You'll see it in a minute. But anyway, you got your black center caterpillar band on your hook. And then next, you're gonna put one of your little connector zigzag bands on your hook as well, except you're gonna put it on as a cat band. And so again, cat band, basically just do a little twist. So now you have 2 loops on your hook for that cat band. And then now you're gonna take one of your caterpillar body bands. So in this case, again, like I said, using pink. You're gonna pull that through everything on your hook. So pull it through that clear band and your center caterpillar band, here, this black band. I'm gonna try to keep it all in order. And then you're gonna put your black band back on your hook real quick. And hold on to everything, make sure this stuff stays pinched, it doesn't go anywhere. And you're going to put this pink band on your hook over the black band. So now it's off your hook, the only thing on your hook should be this black band. And then you're gonna put the other pink end back on your hook. So I know that was a lot, but after this process, you should just have one pink band, or like a half of a pink band, and half of a black band on your hook. And this clear band should be off your hook. It should be like caught on your pink band right here. And if you need to, you can rewind the video to rewatch that step if it was a little confusing for you. All right, so on to the next step. As you complete parts of the body of this caterpillar every time for your first string of caterpillars, you're gonna always add one of your cat bands, one of your connector bands, until the end, but I'll get to that in a second. So again, another cat band, clear band, gonna twist it like this. So we have 2 clear band ends on your hook. So you got that there. And then you're gonna take another pink caterpillar band. Again, pull it through everything on your hook, absolutely everything. But this next step is just gonna be the slightest bit different. So again, pick up that black band, pull that pink band up and over it. So that's all the same as the previous step. The only difference this time is you're going to pick up this previous pink band, put that back on your hook. That was the pink band from your previous band that you added. And then you're gonna add back that other end of your pink band that you just added. So now there should be 2 pink bands on your hook, as well as this black band. The black band isn't gonna go away until you make another caterpillar, which I'll warn you about once we get there. All right, and so you're just gonna repeat step 2 that we just did 6 more times to complete your caterpillar. So hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, just making sure I have enough bands off to the side. All right, so like I said, same exact step. You're going to make a cat band with that clear band. Take another pink band, pull it through everything, pick up your black band, push that little pink end over the black band, and then, it's kind of hard to see here, you should have a lot more going on, but when you pick up your pink band, you're going to pick up the pink band, not this one closest to you, but the next one. And then, of course, put that other half of the pink band back on your hook. And so you'll see there's this kind of like fishtailing effect. It's kind of hard to see because you got these cat bands in the way, but there's like a fishtailing effect going on over here. That's why we keep picking up the previous band. All right, so like I said, repeat that again until we have used up all 8 of our pink bands. So again, cat band, pull this pink through everything on your hook, pick up this black band, push this pink band over it, just like that, so it's off your hook now. And then again, when you pick up a previous pink band, it's not the one closest to you, it's the one furthest away. It should be sticking up a little bit. And then of course put that other half over there. And if you ever lose count of like how many bands you've done, you can look on your black band. So the way I like to do is I look and see, okay, well here I got 1 pink, 2 pink, 3, 4 wrapped around my black band. And that's how I can tell, okay, I've done 4 so far, I need to do 4 more. All right, so we got 4 more to go, like I said. So I'm just gonna kind of roll through these a little bit quicker. So if you need to rewind to recall how to do the steps, you're more than welcome to. And these cap bands are kind of getting in the way. They're a little fuzzy, but hopefully you can see well enough. Come on. There we go. 2 more. And as you do this, this band should start to curl up a little bit. That's why it makes it look like a caterpillar. Pick that up. And this is the last one. Pull it through everything. Pick up that band, put it over. And then also, I should mention, once you pick up your other bands, you should make sure that the cap band stays like in between the 2 bands that end up on your hook. Like you can see here, the cap band is like, these other ones will get out of the way. The cap band is like caught in between your 2 pink bands that are on your hook. All right, so it should start to look something like this. Your caterpillar starting to curl up a bit. You got one end here, and you got this other end here. And then you got these 2 pink bands here. All right, so you've just completed 1 caterpillar, and now you're just gonna basically repeat the exact same steps for another caterpillar. And starting off the new caterpillar is just the slightest bit different. I'll show you that in a second. But before we start a new one, we gotta get out a C-clip because we're about to use one. And this is to clear up your hook, just to make sure you don't end up lining up all your caterpillars on your hook, because you don't need to do that. So to prevent that, after you add all of your bands to this center caterpillar band, you're going to take your C-clip and you're just going to clip this black band that is on your hook. And I know kind of my hand is blocking it. I'm trying to get a decent angle on this. Come on now. There we go. So yeah, when you clip it, you just put your C-clip onto your black band. And then after you do that, you're safe to pinch your 2 pink bands, don't let go of them, and then just take that black band off, put your 2 pink bands back on your hook, right where they used to be. So now you just got this little black band off to the side like that. Make sure it's nice and secure, and then you're good to move on. So like I said, making your second caterpillar is not too different than the other one that you just made. So my bands are spilling everywhere. Oh. So again, standard 8 bands for the caterpillar, and then you also add 8 bands for like the little connector bits. So the clear bands in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just counting them off to the side. I like to count mine just to make sure I don't accidentally add too many or too few. But yeah. And so unlike the last one, the first thing we're going to add is actually our next set of caterpillar body bands. So first start off with your little cap band connector. Then you take your body color for your caterpillar. You're just going to pull it through, very similar to what we've been doing. And then you just kind of forget about like anything else on your hook. Obviously there's nothing on your hook right now, but you're going to pick up your bands just like you've been doing. So again, ignore the pink band closest to your hook. Pick up the one off to the left of it, and then put that other pink band back on your hook as well. And so instead of a black band over here, you have a pink band. But we're going to get rid of that in a second. We're going to now add in like the inside of our caterpillar band. And so to do that, you're going to pinch these front two bands here, the two closest to your hook. So pinch those, make sure you don't let go of them. Pull them off your hook. And then you're going to thread this black band through this remaining band here. And put your other bands back on your hook. So now you got something that looks like this. So this pink band, now off your hook. Then you got your two halves of your black band replacing it. And then of course your two pink bands from earlier. And this part is where you kind of, I guess, make sure the bands go onto your black band the way that you want it. So to do this, you're going to take your left half of your black band, you're going to pick that up, pinch it, and you're going to put it over this other half of the black band. So you're going to pinch it and pull it over this direction to the right. So let me show you that. So again, pinch it, pull it over. So I like to hold it there with my fingernail. And then I like to pull this other end to the left. And it might take a bit of tugging, but you should like flip the band. And your black band will probably twist a little bit, so just untwist it with your finger so it lays a little better. And now you got this, and you can see that pink band has like curled the way that you want it, the way that it did for all those other bands on your other caterpillar. And it is important that you put the left half over the right. If you do it the other way, it's not going to look correct. So make sure you do that part properly. And then you're just going to leave it. So yeah, this black piece right here, you're not going to be working with it. You can actually pull it off your hook if you want to. I like to just keep it though, because I feel like it's a little easier to work with that way. But if you're like, oh, it's more confusing for me to leave it on, you can pull it off, whatever. I'm going to leave mine on. And then you just complete your caterpillar, same exact way you've been doing. So first thing, again, add on your cat band. Take your pink body band of your caterpillar, pull it through everything except this little black piece that's left. So this other half of your black band, you don't do anything with it, it just stays there. Then you pick up this closer black half, pull your pink over it, and then picking up your bands, you ignore the one closest to you, go to the next one, pick that up, and then put this other half back on your hook. So again, it's the same steps we've been doing. Come on, stay off my hook. And then we got 6 more left to go because I just added 2. So I'm just going to do those 6 real quick since you guys have seen me do it a couple times already. Pull through all that stuff. Pick up the black, pull it over. Pick up that pink and then put the other one back on. So just a couple more. Cat band, pink band, pull through. Curl this pink over the black band. And then pick that one up, put the other half back on. And again, I know the cat bands will kind of want to get in the way for this. Just bear with them. Pull through everything. If it'll let me, come on now. 3 more. Two more. I do usually make this a bit faster, but the angle slows me down just a wee bit. All right, and then 1 more. Alrighty, so I got 8 total on my caterpillar. Should look something like that. Got my old caterpillar over here. And then as usual, to finish this off, we gotta clip our band. And you might notice we got 2 bands on our hook at this point. This black band over here, the one furthest away from everything, you actually don't need to clip it. Like, you can just leave it, it won't unravel, it won't do anything funky. But if you want to clip it, just to like remind yourself for later, because you will be picking up these bands once you like make your fishtail, you're welcome to do that, but you only really need one right here. So I'm just going to add it, just like I've been doing. So I'm going to pinch. Well, actually, I can clip it on the hook like I did earlier. So I'm going to clip this black band first. There we go. And again, you don't need to clip this one, although you can. Pinch my pink bands, hold on to them tightly, and drop off both of my black bands. And then put the pinks back on my hook. So you should have something that looks a little like this. And you might be thinking, wow, this looks like a mess. It won't be a mess forever, but it's going to look a little messy once you start this stuff off. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, we completed 2 caterpillars. Again, I used a total of 6 per each string. So if your wrist is around my size, you do 4 more caterpillars, but the end is a little bit different. So I'm going to preview that real quick. I'm going to finish this off camera until I get to the part that's a little different. So as you can see here with my pink string here, you know, I started off, moved on, yada yada. But then when I got to my last caterpillar, I stopped adding these cap bands for the last 4 bands that I put on. And so that's the only difference. So I'm going to go off camera, I'm going to work up to that point, and then I'm going to show you how that'll look not adding the cap bands. So again, finishing this off camera, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, I am back. So as you can see, I have finished 5 caterpillars, so that's 1 less than I need for my bracelet. And I'm just going to show you how to add the final caterpillar. So this is going to be just a tiny bit different, like I said, but not too bad. So you're going to start it off just like you usually would. So as usual, you're going to take your cap band, first of all, put that on. And then you're going to take your caterpillar body band, pull it through, and pick up that further away pink band. Let me try to get my bands out of the way. Come on now. There we go. And so now you have 3 bands on your hook. So again, this is the exact same way you usually start off a caterpillar. Nothing's changed yet. And then I'm going to add in the center of my caterpillar. So again, to do that, I'm going to pinch off these first 2 pink bands, put the black band through this final pink band here, put my other 2 pink bands back on my hook, and then I'm going to pull the left side of my black band over the right side, like that, and then pull on it to straighten it out, untwist it, and then leave it like that. And then I'm just going to do the next 3 bands the exact same way how I usually would, so I'm going to roll through that real quick. So again, same exact things we've been doing. Then 1 more. Alright, so you should see you have 4 pink bands on your center band so far. And then the only change at the very end is that you're not going to add cap bands anymore. So for the last 4 bands of this final caterpillar, you're just going to skip the cap bands. So, not too bad. So you're just going to take your pink caterpillar band, put it on your hook, pull it through the first 3 bands, pick up your black band, pull that pink over, and then pick up that pink furthest away, and then put that other half of your pink back on. So again, it's the exact same steps. The only difference is you don't worry about adding a cap band on. And then you're just going to repeat this 3 more times to finish off your caterpillar. Two more. And then 1 more. Alright, so double checking, we got 8 bands on this black band, so we know we're done. And then you're going to clip it off pretty similar to how you've been doing. So as usual, you're going to put a clip on this black end right here. Pinch these, pull those black bands off. And I'm just going to rotate this to make sure that pink band doesn't flip off. And then you're just going to add an additional C-clip to these last 2 pink bands here. So you're just going to clip them together and then pull that off. And there's your first string of caterpillars. Alright, so that's your first string all done. And next thing we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to weave on that second string of caterpillars. So you're going to weave these caterpillars and you're going to connect it to your other string of caterpillars at the same time. And so we're going to start off with that. So as you see here in this other bracelet I've made, we've already done this row on the right. Now we're going to do this row on the left. But as you can see here, instead of ending with adding on no cap bands, we're going to start by adding on no cap bands, and then we're going to do our cap bands after that. So we're kind of reversing the order there. So we just finished without cap bands, now we're going to start with no cap bands. And so starts off very similarly to how we started off the last string of caterpillars. So as usual, you're going to take your inside to start off with because this is the first caterpillar. So you're just going to plop that band on your hook. And then, like I said, we're not going to add cap bands to start off with. So for the first 4 bands of your caterpillar, you're just going to worry about like the body of the caterpillar. So like I said, we're using orange for this strip of caterpillars. So I'm going to take my orange band, pull it through this black band, put the black band back on my hook. Again, I'm pinching the other end of the orange band this whole time. Then I'm going to pull this end of the orange band over the black band, and then put this other end of the orange band back on. So that's my first orange band added. I'm going to do something very similar for the next one. Take my next orange band, pull it through everything on my hook. Going to pick up the black band, holding on to this other end of the orange band with my thumb. Gonna pull this orange end over the black band. And then, before I add this other end back on, I'm going to pick up the previous orange band here, and then I'm going to add the other orange end back to my hook. And so now I have 1 black band end here, and then 2 orange band pieces over there. And then I'm going to add on my next 2. So I'm going to pull this one through everything, pick up the black band, push that orange end over it, pick up my furthest away orange band here that's kind of sticking up. Then I'm going to put that other end on as well. And then I'm going to repeat that same step for my 4th orange band. So pull through everything, pick up my black band, push this end over my hook, pick up this orange piece that's sticking up, and then put the other orange end back on. And so it should look a lot like how your other first caterpillar started off as, except no cap bands, obviously. So that's how you started off. And then you're just going to finish off this caterpillar, kind of like how you did with the other caterpillars. So now we're going to add our cap bands, but you might notice if you counted out your bands, you're out of cap bands. That's because you're going to add on to the ones from your other caterpillar. And so when you start adding on, make sure you start at the correct end. So you should not be starting at the end where there's no cap bands. That's the end you're going to finish with. So when you pull out your other strip, you're going to start at the end where there are cap bands all the way to the bottom of the caterpillar. You should also be starting where there's no C-clip if you decided not to clip every single spot. Alright, so now we're going to attach this end. And so, like I said, instead of adding on new cap bands, you're just going to use the ones already here across these caterpillars. So let's pick up the first cap band. So it's kind of tricky because these cap bands are a little messy, but just make sure that when you pick your cap band, that all of it should be going through like the same hole, I guess, if that makes sense, and that you get both ends. So here's our first cap band. Again, you're starting with the one at the very, very bottom. You're just going to put it on your hook just like you did previously, except now there's something attached to it. And then you're going to do the exact same steps that you did with your last caterpillars. So put that on your hook, pull your orange through, pull it through everything, pick up your black band, flip that orange piece over it, then you're going to pick up your further away orange band, the one that kind of sticks up a bit usually, and then put that other orange back on your hook. And I tend to find this strip of caterpillars is a little easier for me because there's some weight behind the cap bands. They get in the way a little less. So that's your first one. So this should be the 5th band on your caterpillar body at this point. And then next cap band you add is the next one in your strip. So here the very next cap band is this one right here. So I pick that up on my hook. And it shouldn't, but make sure this like other strip isn't like twisting or anything weird. Then you're going to pull through your next orange, just like you've been doing. Same exact steps that we just did. Same exact steps that you did for most of your previous strip of caterpillars. Then I pick up another cap band. So it's this one right here. Put that on my hook. Do the same steps we've been doing. And then I think I'm at 7 now, so I should only add one more. So I pick up my next cap band, put it on my hook, repeat the same steps. Alright, so I'm just double checking. Yep, I got 8 on this band here. That means I'm done with this caterpillar. And you might be like, oh, well, I'm not done with this caterpillar. Why are there still bands left? It's because the caterpillars are staggered. And so if you see, I'm going to flip it. Well, it doesn't line up exactly, but you can see they're staggered. So yeah, you can see like when you're adding on this caterpillar here, you can see you only finish half of them, and then you finish the other half when you start a new caterpillar, and you just keep going. So that's all good. Alright, so finishing it off, very similar to how you did before. You're going to take a C-clip, you're going to clip this black end right here. Clip that so it's nice and secure. Pinch your 2 orange bands, don't let go of them. Pull it off your hook, maybe stretch it out a bit, and then put your orange bands back on. And there you go. Now you're good to start another caterpillar. And so this one, again, very similar to your previous caterpillars, except now you're using these cap bands down here. So let me count out my bands. Count out 8 bands. Need 1 to go through the middle of my caterpillar. And now I'm just going to add those on just like I did previously. And so you're going to pick up your cat band first. So again, moving right along to my next cat band. Pick that one up. And then, like I said, when you start a new caterpillar, you're going to add in your center band later. So I'm going to start by worrying about my outside of the caterpillar band. Pull that through everything. Pick up this orange band here, further away, sticking up a little bit. Put that other end on my hook. And then now I'm going to add my center of the caterpillar band. So to do this, again, you're going to like pinch the first two bands on your hook, hold on to them tight, and then you're going to use your hook to grab this center band. I like to put it on my thumb. Usually it works a little better when I'm not trying to do it in front of the camera. Pull that through this orange band that's left. And I know it came out a little twisted. So you got this. And then again, just like you did with your previous caterpillars, you're going to take this left half of your band, pull it over the right half, like that, and then kind of pull these bands apart. So pull the other half in the other direction, untwist it, and you got something like this. And then after that, you just keep on going. So next you're going to pick up your next cat band. Do the exact same steps you've been doing. Pick up your next cat band. Same deal. So I've got 3 so far. And then one thing that can happen, sometimes these cat bands act a little funky right near the start of a new caterpillar on your previous row of caterpillars. So just be careful of that. Make sure you don't skip any, because as you can see here, this one kind of like jumped down, down here instead of being in line with all the other ones. So in this case, you might have to dig around like inside. So if you look at it from the top here, you can see, oh, there it is. It's just kind of caught in between there. So if you need to, you might want to take your hook, pull that out a little bit, and then you can see, oh, it pops right into place, right where it should be. So be wary of that. You don't want to get off kilter with your alignment of your cat bands. So just be careful of that. That's a thing that can happen. But once you got that on your hook, you just proceed as normal. Alright, so I got 4 here, and then I just keep on going, finish it off as usual, and then I just add on more caterpillars until I got 6 as well. I like to use the same amount. Sorry, there's another hair in these. I forgot how much these attract hair. Yeah, and then you're going to get to the end, and then unlike the last set of caterpillars where you ended off without cat bands for the last 4, you're going to go use cat bands all the way to the end for this strip. So every single one from here on out, you should be adding a cat band. There should be enough for that. If there's not, you want to double check that no bands got lost in the cracks, kind of like this one that I just showed you did. So yeah, I think that's it for this one. Yeah, and the reason you end with cat bands all the way to the end is because you started off without cat bands in this case. All right, so I'm going to go off camera, finish all of that off, show you how it looks at the end, and then I'm going to show you the final step of adding the fishtails on the sides. Alright, so I am back. I've finished off my strip of orange caterpillars. So as you can see here, I just went all the way to the end, adding cat bands all the way there, and I finished it off the exact same way. I put my usual C-clip on the black end there, and then I put a C-clip on the last 2 orange bands that remained on my hook. So you should have something like this. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but we're about to add on our fishtails at the sides. And so I think it would be probably easiest to start off with this fishtail over here. So let's do that one. So you're going to take your hook and you're just going to basically do a fishtail, picking up bands along the way. So like I said, I'm going to start with the orange one. I feel like that's the one that makes a little more sense to me to start off with. So yeah, we're going to add that fishtail off to the orange side. So as you can see here, it starts right at the very bottom. So to start off with, you're going to take your hook, take one of your bands. This is the zebra band I was talking about. You can see it's like gray on the inside. That's what I'm going to be using for my fishtails. And so you're just going to start off by making a cat band on your hook. And then you're going to immediately start attaching your fishtail to the side. So after you do that, next thing you do is you're going to put this little black end here. You may have a C-clip on it, you may not. I chose not to C-clip it. You're going to pick that up with your hook. So again, this is your orange caterpillar side. This is the side where you start off with no cat bands on the side here. So you're going to start off with that one, and you're going to pick up another band, and you're going to pull it through everything on your hook. And after you do that, you're going to pick up your cat band in the middle here, and then of course put that other end of your zebra band back on your hook. So as you can see here, you've picked up this little black band. It's not on your hook anymore, but you have it attached. You still got your cat band here in the middle and a new band on the outside of it. Alright, so that is your first band. And then after that band, you're going to fishtail on 3 more. And so you're just going to add these on like you usually do for a fishtail. So you're going to take your next band, pull it through everything. And I know it's going to be a little messy with that cat band there. And then of course you're going to pick up your previous two band halves, I guess. So you're going to leave the cat band behind, and you're going to pick up the 2 bands of your previous fishtail. So I know it might be a little messy, might be a bit difficult, but this cat band should not be on your hook at all. So you should have 4 bands on your hook, and then you just add on 2 more bands the same way. Pull this one through, pick up your outside 2 bands, and then pull the next bands through, pick up your outside 2 bands. So now you have this. So you added on your first cat band, and then you've pulled through a total of 4 additional bands. So you should have used 5 bands by this point. And then you're going to pick up your next little black piece. And so this one will definitely have a C-clip on it. So you're going to pick that one up, and you can take that C-clip off now that it's on your hook. And you're going to pull through another band, and you're basically going to do the same thing that you did earlier. So take a band, pull it through everything on your hook, and then just like a normal fishtail, you just pick up these 2 previous bands and put the other end on. And then after that, you just fishtail on 3 more bands as usual. So basically you're just repeating this pattern of picking up that black band on the side of your caterpillar and fishtailing a band through that. And then after you do that step, you fishtail on 3 more bands without doing anything special. So yeah, you're just doing the same exact thing all the way down. So yeah, next I'd pick up this band here. I'd fishtail a band through everything, fishtail 3 more bands through normally, and then keep on going, making sure I pick up every single little black band piece. And it should alternate if you didn't C-clip everything. You'd be alternating between no C-clip, C-clip, no C-clip, C-clip as you go along the side. And yeah, you basically do that all the way to the end, and then finishing it off is a little bit different. You gotta, of course, pick up these other C-clipped bands, and then maybe add some bands after that. But I'll be back to show you exactly how to do that step. So I'm gonna go off camera, I'm gonna finish off the rest of this repeat of this side, and then show you how to end it. Okay, I'm back. And so I've made my entire fishtail following the same pattern that I told you guys. And then I've stopped at the point where I just put this last little black piece of the inside of the caterpillar on my hook. So next step, just do the exact same thing you've been doing. Pull your band through everything on your hook, and then just pick up your previous band of your fishtail. And then the thing that changes is the next band that you pull through. You gotta get rid of these orange bands as well. And so for that, you're just going to put these two orange bands on your hook. And then of course take your C-clip off after that point. And then next you're gonna pull through another fishtail band, and you're gonna treat these two bands kind of like how you treated your previous black band. You're just gonna pull your fishtail band through everything on your hook, and then pick up your previous fishtail band, just like that. And so both of these orange bands go on the same fishtail band, and they're off your hook. And so now that you've finished those steps, you're just gonna fishtail on 4 more bands as usual, just like you've been doing. So fishtail those on. We got 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one you can just pull it through everything on your hook and not pick any bands up. So now you're just left with 2 bands on your hook. And then now that you've finished this fishtail, you just take a C-clip and clip that. Obviously this is your final C-clip, so you're going to use the C-clip you want to leave on your bracelet. Making note of that in case you got like a colored C-clip you want to use. And then that is it for that side. So you finished 1 of your 2 edge fishtails. And so now you're going to do very similar fishtail on the other side. And you're going to start it off a little bit differently from how you started this one. So this one we just went straight into attaching it. The other one that we're going to do, you're going to wait just a little bit before attaching it. And so if you look in here, you can see we got cap band, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 bands before you start attaching those other bands on as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5. So yeah, you're going to start off with 5 bands, just fishtailing them, just like you've been doing, not attaching anything yet, and then after those 5 bands, you're going to add everything else. So, you guys have fishtailed just plain on your hook before, so as usual, start with cap band, and then because we're not starting off immediately attaching things, I'm going to pull through my 2 bands together next, pull them through, oopsie, through that cap band, and then put them both on my hook, and then I'm just going to mess with them a little bit to make sure that the 2 bands in the middle are part of the same band. And then fishtail as usual for the next 2 bands. So pull this band through, pick up your 2 outer bands. Again, making sure that those are 2 halves of the same band that you pulled up here. It's not like a huge deal, but I like it to be correct. And then pull through your last band. Again, same deal with fishtailing it. Alright, so you've just used up 5 bands at this point. So used 5 bands, and then now at this point you're going to start attaching your bracelet. So of course, you're just going to pick up this little black piece along your pink row of caterpillars. So just plop that on your hook. Pull 1 band through everything, again, just like you've been doing. Same exact thing that you did for the previous fishtail. Pick up those 2 outer fishtail bands, put your other end on your hook, just like that. And then you're going to fishtail on 3 more bands as usual. Right, and then after this, you're going to put your next band on your hook. So pick up that next caterpillar band. Take your C-clip off. And then, of course, pull 1 band through everything, fishtail on 3 more. And then, of course, repeat that until you get through all of those different bands. And then I'm going to show you how to finish it off. It's going to be slightly different than the last one, but not difficult. So I'm going to finish that off camera and come back. Alright, so I've finished up my fishtail on the side of my bracelet, and I have fishtailed on where I fishtailed attached this piece here, and then added my 3 bands after that. And then I'm just about to connect this last little piece here. So let me connect this last black end just as I've been doing, same exact steps. So pull my band through everything, then pick up those 2 bands. And then, next thing I'm going to do, of course, is add these last pink bands here. So put both of them on my hook, take that C-clip off, and then this one is actually the last fishtail band you're adding, so you can just pull it through everything and not pick anything up. And then you just take your C-clip, clip that, that's your last band, so you're using this C-clip for your bracelet. And then you have your bracelet. So of course you gotta attach it before you can wear it. So I'm just going to do that. Pretty standard. You just take your clip and attach it to your cap bands at the end. Just like that. Pretty easy. So now it's attached and ready to wear. So that is it for this bracelet. So before I leave, I'm just going to give you guys a real brief, vague update about my life, like where I've been, all that fun stuff. So yeah, you can stick around if you want, but the tutorial part is over, so if you want to head out, that's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. But yeah, so update on my life. As you guys can tell, years have passed. It's been a minute, and I've just been doing life since then. Went to college, got my education. I'm going to be a teacher, so I'm sure that surprises none of you guys. With what I do here on my channel, I teach you guys how to make bracelets, and yeah, so I'm going to be a teacher. Going to start my first year teaching all by myself next year, and that's pretty much it. That's my life. Everything else has been pretty standard. I haven't done anything crazy in the meantime. I have gotten into other crafts. You guys may have seen that. I redid my spam account into a friendship bracelet account for a while. I did a bit of that, and then I just kind of took a step back, and I've mostly been crocheting a lot lately. Just making whatever I want, really. And it's been fun. It's been a good time. But I figured I'd return to Rainbow Loom and just bring you guys a quick little pattern, see if I can even come up with patterns. Thankfully, I haven't lost it. But yeah, it's not going to be a regular thing. I just wanted to pop in, come up with something, say hi, and then head out. I might come up with a few more designs in a little bit, since it is, of course, summer break. I'm not in school right now, so I don't need to worry about everything else. So I might be back with some more designs, I might not be. We'll see. But I did have a lot of fun filming this, and thank you guys for still sticking here. I don't know how many views this video is going to get. It could be 2, it could be 2,000, it could be more than that. But really, I just wanted to do this for fun, to give you poor people who have been waiting this entire time for me to come back something, you know, some new design to have fun with. It's very nice to see that the community is still going, that there are still people rainbow looming. It's such a fun craft. Like, it's so good, like, for your brain, for creativity. Like, it's just so valuable. So I don't want it ever to die. Like once I have kids, if I have kids, I will definitely be teaching them how to loom for sure, because it's just such a unique, fun craft. Like with all the crafts I've done, there's never been anything quite like rainbow loom. And I say that honestly because I love it. It's still got a special place in my heart. But as any craft, you know, you kind of go between them, try different things out, return. That's just kind of how it is with creative hobbies. But I don't want to ramble any longer. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll be reading comments, and yeah, I hope I can remember how to edit this. It'll be a little different. You can tell I recorded on my phone, so hopefully the resolution is a little better. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this out as quick as I can. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later.